Hi, so I'm going to talk about some socializing tips as an INTP. Now, I'm terrible at socializing. Um, I like I often find that I can recognize that I'm bad at it, but I can't recognize it well enough to figure out what I'm supposed to do to fix this problem. Um, and that's just how it's been for a long time. Um, and well, what my dad did, and he's an INTP, and I'm going to talk a little bit about his method. I haven't tried it yet. I might eventually, but not right now because I'm too busy thinking about other things. Um, but he came up with some rules for himself to teach him how to socialize, and I'm just gonna read them. I wrote them all down so I wouldn't forget. Uh, and did I mention that he's an INTP? I think so. Um, but yeah, in college he realized he would have to learn how to talk to people, and I think that's where I'm heading soon. I just graduated high school, so yay! And so yeah, I'll just read his. I have it titled "Conversation Rules," and he's told me this multiple times, so I think he's pretty proud of teaching himself this. Um, so, and it's a list of three things, so I'm just gonna read them off. Talk to anyone who talks to you. Um, I think that's a pretty good rule. It's just being friendly and um, yeah. Start conversations by asking questions about the other person. And his reason behind this was that because people like to talk about themselves. They really do. And if they talk about themselves first, it can sometimes give you an opening to say something about yourself and then ask them another question. And I guess that's how conversation works. Um, and third is ask three questions about them. And if they don't ask you a question, if they don't ask you a question and don't seem to be interested in what you have to say yet, or interested in you yet, you can just walk away and they won't mind it because they didn't want to talk to you. So, yeah, he needed a way out of. He told me he needed a way to get out of a conversation if it didn't seem to be going very well, and that was his way. Just ask three questions. If they don't seem to be interested in all at all, and they haven't asked you a question, then you can just leave because they don't care at that point, for whatever reason. So that's how he taught himself to have conversations. And I've noticed he's a lot better than I am. He's not as good as some people who seem to be naturally good at conversations, but he's pretty good, and people go up to him and talk to him and whatnot. And people have yet to really want to start conversations with me, probably because I haven't gotten good at it yet. Makes sense. Um, so yeah, I think that a way for INTPs to get better at conversations is definitely to create some sort of system like that to practice from. I haven't thought of one yet. Although my sophomore year in high school, I did do this thing for most of the year where I would talk to two people almost every day, and it would be small talk. And I hate small talk. I think almost all, if not all, INTPs just dislike small talk. I don't see the point of it. Um, so but I realize that a lot of other people will engage in small talk, and I should probably learn how to do so as well. So I kind of just, um, yeah, I would practice it every day, just a little bit, and I didn't get very good at it. I still am terrible with it. Uh, and some days, I would normally start by asking them, well, saying like, "Hello, how are you?" And they would say, "Good. How are you?" And I'd say, "Good." Like that's just how people respond to those things. Like they hardly ever say anything about how their day actually is, and I find that like My dad and I both had a conversation about this, and we find it so funny that people like, you might as well just say hi to someone because they aren't going to tell you how their day truly has been for them most of the time. So yeah, and so I would ask them that, and then later in that same class period, I would ask that same person the same question, and I would ask them how their day has been, and I would realize that I made a mistake, and I would be like, well, I already asked you that, I know, but like, what made your day good or okay or whatever? And kind of backtrack like that, because, whoops. Um, so, yeah. So my recommendation would be to find, um, well, also just general things like be nice to people. People are typically nicer to you and more willing to talk to you. Besides, getting angry about people is a waste of time because people will always do things that make you angry. And I think a trick is to just being happier is to find ways to not let that bother you, I guess. And I still have a lot of work to do. I tend to get really angry with people, especially if I've had a rough day. I will snap at someone and have an emotional outburst because FE, yeah, I don't love that extroverted feeling, inferior function, right? No, I hate it. So that got kind of dark. Um, yeah, just find a system, try new things out, and eventually things will start to fall into place, especially if you work on them. I think they will, and yeah, that's all I have for now.